I also was like really eager. I went into watching Beyond Thunderdome with this mindset of like, I'm gonna come into Thunderdome with the hot take. I'm gonna find out why this is like the best of the trilogy. And I think this movie, when you talk to people about it, they're really disparaging of it. And then when you sort of prod them a little bit or you get more into it, really most people are like, well, it's kind of cool, but then you get into the kids like the beginning's really cool, then the middle kind of sucks, and then the ending pretty good. It's fine. And so I think that's just also kind of my take. I don't think I have anything super new to add to that discourse. Exactly what you were saying, Nathan, this to me had real Amblin Entertainment energy. Like this was so Steven Spielberg in its direction that it kind of caught me off guard. I thought the Thunderdome stuff was pretty cool. I like that we're seeing this escalation of civilizations and we're seeing the wasteland, how it's progressing. I think that's all really interesting. We're introduced to characters that kind of feel familiar. And I think George Miller is so great at making these characters feel lived in, even though so many of them are real background. I think it's really fun to sort of just take your brain out of your head, put it next to you on the couch and go, yeah, sure, pig shit energy. Great. Master Blaster, rock and roll. It's awesome. I think it's fun because you can just sit back and watch this movie and know that someone has this world fully formed in their head and you don't have to think about it. I think technically, we see George Miller getting better and better in this movie. The sound design in Thunderdome, I really like. That reminded me of a lot of like kung fu movies. I heard a lot of like wuxia sound in there. I thought that was awesome. I do think the stuff with the kids drags. I understand that it's the evolution of Max. It's the culmination of him as a character coming to grips with self-preservation versus community. And I think that's the crux of the climax of all the Max movies, and how he sort of balances those two things. And this sort of pushes it to the edge and how he can use his skills in self-preservation to sort of better the community and maybe even leave a legacy and something back for himself. I like that we get the narration. I really like whatever language it is they're speaking. That is really fun future language. I thought that was super fun. And the callback to the narrator being someone that we met when they were younger, fun. But yeah, I think like everybody else, I think this is two different movies sort of imperfectly smashed together. Mm-hmm. And I don't know that it's as cohesive as I want it to be. It's too cartoony. I think if it just took like that final action sequence to me, it's not the blocking of the action, it's the tone. And that's how I felt about this whole movie. It wasn't the content. The content, right, fine. It was the tone of the whole thing just felt a little frying pan Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny. Mm-hmm. And I could have done without it. Anyway, that's me.